Hello? Hello?
Oh, uh, hello. I was thinking I sent you a co-host invite if you want to accept.
Oh, okay. I never done this, so I don't know what to do on it. It's not doing nothing. But anyway, so like go ahead, like do your how do you want to do this?
Okay. So, okay, I'm good. First of all, I appreciate you a lot for accepting this debate. Also, if you would like, you can repost this space so others also can join.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Also, so first of all, let me go to your points in your actually the things that you've told me. Okay. So first point was America should be first and its neighbors second and allies third. So I agree with you with your first point, but I don't think that neighbors supposed to be better allies than like some other allies that are like in the world. But I think so. I just want to say something about the first point that you made about Israel. So you said Israel creates enemies for America and has drug us in Middle East crap for their gain. So I just want to point out. So I will speak like for 2-3 minutes, and then I let you go for 5 minutes, and I won't interrupt you. So it's how we debate because I just want to keep it civil and like you said, you asked me and not to interrupt each other. But after like some rebuttals, we can have an open conversation if you agree.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to tell you about some points that I uh, have made. So first of all, I think Israel doesn't create enemies for America. I think Israel actually fight America's wars. So IDF soldiers are put on the ground for America because now, for example, America is not involved in some wars. But for example, they did some mistakes like the Iraq invasion, which they annihilated the whole party that was governing Iraq. But the Iraqi regime problem was Saddam Hussein, not the whole party, because Saddam was one person who had a dictatorship, and like toppling Saddam wasn't bad, but after that they should have left, like after 6 months. But they just annihilated the party of Ba'ath, which was in Iraq, and the United States did that, and they under Bush, and they actually created instability. So the only good thing was to toppling Saddam, but what came next was a mistake, and that's why Trump said that in the 2016 debate when he was pointing like the Iraq invasion was wrong out because Bush was like had like he wasn't just for example new conservative or something, he was like a warmonger, and he did a bad mistake for keeping the invasion for a long time and just annihilating the governing party because that governing party was fearing of Saddam Hussein. And they couldn't. And after that, they had a hope, but Bush destroyed their hope to actually have a country that will govern by the Iraqi people and having a better situation, but still have a better situation than 2003. But that was a mistake. So okay, so this is about Iraq, but about the other things, I think, like Israel always fought defensive wars. So Israel hasn't like started any war. You may say, okay, the war against the Islamic Republic, which is Iran, but it wasn't like the war started in October 7th. Also, Iran shoot the rockets like in April. Also in October, they started first. I mean, I'm talking about Iran, the Islamic Republic. I said, don't say Iran. By the way, I think like those wars were also defensive against actually the enemies of Israel, which they started the wars first. So there were three phases of actually anti-Israel movements. First was Pan-Arabism, which was from 1948 to 1967. So Israel fought back then 1940 Israeli-Arab War and 1967 Six Days War. And after that, it was like Sunni Caliphate, which was based on a Sunni ideology that wanted to conquer Israel and then spread its Sunni Wahhabism, in like Wahhabism, Islam. So they also defeated. And the third one was Shia Imamate, which is the current enemies that are like, for example, Islamic Republic, Hezbollah, Houthis. Even Hamas is a Sunni group, but they're allying with the Shias and actually listening to the Shia regime, which is in Tehran, and they're doing exactly what they say, and actually gaining the rockets from them. So my final point on my first rebuttal is that Israel always fought defensive wars. They never fought against any nation before they attacked them, and they never dragged U.S. into wars like before 1973. Israel just fought all its wars itself without any like United States help. Also for USS Liberty, I say that it was a mistake, and Israel admitted that they did a mistake, and they paid for the people who died, paid for their families, and apologized for that. So it was all like an incident. If you want to admit, if you want to say about that point. So those were my points. I spoke for 4 minutes, and you have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. So the reason why I'm big on your neighbors being key allies and very friendly, because if you don't have very friendly neighbors, you end up with situations like Palestine versus Israel, Russia versus Ukraine. And like, that's not cool. It's not cool to be at a kinetic war with your neighbors, especially on the border. So like, I think we have nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with me. The Middle East, I don't know why we're over there. We were duped into going over there for the Iraq war for weapons of mass destruction, which we never found. And, we're just in Afghanistan for 20 years. And I think we create more terrorists by intervening over there than if we just, let Israel fight its own battles. Like, why do we have to keep funding these people? What are they getting like an extra $3 billion this year? Like our government shut down and we're funding this place and their wars. Like, I don't care about their Muslim Jewish war. That's not my concern. My concern is keeping America beautiful, cleaning up our society, cleaning up our culture, and our neighbors. Why the hell does Mexico have to be the way it is? We have a lot of problems because of the drugs going in through Mexico, along with the human trafficking that comes through Mexico, which is absolutely ridiculous. The illegal immigration. These are all massive problems that we need to worry about first before you even think about worrying about other countries. We're in such huge debt. It's unbelievable. We can't, our government is literally shut down. What is this? Oh, did they open back up? I haven't really been paying attention. So if they haven't opened up, it's been like 2 or 3 days. I don't know. So it's kind of ridiculous for us to be funding Israel's endeavors when we've been funding them and giving them billions of dollars for 20 years. Why don't they have it together by now? They should have it together by now. If they want to buy our weapons, they can buy our weapons or whatever. We don't need to be involved in everybody else's conflicts. And if we're going to overthrow regimes, we shouldn't be overthrowing Iran's regime. We should be overthrowing Mexico's regime and eliminating the cartels and human traffickers. That should be number one on America's list. Not Israel's bullshit. Not Ukraine's bullshit. It should be America's stuff. We have too many problems here. We have too much crime. We have so much division. Our country's separating. Like we've had our current president shot in the head, and like we just had Charlie Kirk, a political figure like Franz Ferdinand in World War One. That war was started over his murder. So like Charlie Kirk was kind of like that. So like we're at like the breaking point. We're not in a good spot. We're not in a good spot financially, and the rest of the world isn't either. I think that I just think that they just need to start focusing on themselves. We need to just worry about ourselves first. Now the defensive wars and stuff like that, you said like they're in defensive wars. I don't know. I can't really answer on that. I didn't really study that. So, yeah. But I have a big problem with us funding a genocide. There's, 60,000 people. I think a good chunk of it was kids that have been killed during airstrikes. So I think that makes America look really bad to be funding a literal genocide. So, yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and rebut that.
Thank you very much. I just really love how you've been so respectful. It's not like it's strange that people are respectful. It's strange that I have never debated anyone respectful about on this topic. But I respect you a lot. But I just want to respond to your points, of course. So first of all, you said about like Iraq and Afghanistan. I totally agree with you that invasion in Afghanistan was false. But so Osama bin Laden did in 9/11, and actually after 9/11, so they wanted to kill him. But the invasion of Afghanistan also, it was, I think, false because like there are many mountains, and Taliban hides in mountains and also among people, so they're like Hamas, but even less guessable because, for example, Hamas you can guess, but Taliban they're just wearing the normal clothes, like no different, because in every family maybe has one Taliban member, and Taliban is like a more cultural structure than Hamas, because Taliban is actually a structure that like culturally dominated at that era, and then they are conquering Afghanistan, and then they have their tyrannical government. But for the regime change, I don't think America should do any regime change. And the Iranian people, like according to data from December 2022, 81% of Iranians were against Islamic Republic. It was way before electricity shortage. It was way before the water shortage. Like the US dollar has devaluated, I think 4 times from then. It was like, 2.5 times from that time. It was, I remember that time that it was like the value of like 500,000 Iranian rial was one United States dollar, and now it's like 1,200,000 Iranian rials, which is a US dollar. So, the people are fed up with their government because of also the religious tyranny. So it has nothing to do for the US to go and change, because the people actually don't want the US to involve inside Iran and change its regime. I just want to. Sorry, I may speak for 2 minutes longer than I have, but I will give you more minutes, because the regime change in Iran is a topic that I know that well. Also, the person we have in here after the debate, that person also can talk about the Iranian regime change, because this person also is still in Iran. The Persian. This is one of my favorite accounts, the Persian Gulf. Yeah, she's a great account. Anyway, I just want to say that the Iranian regime change, so the Iranian people, like the majority of them, they support Prince Reza Pahlavi for the Iranian opposition. But some other guys support other oppositions. which they also don't want America to involve. So also, Reza Pahlavi didn't say America to go and do the regime change, because Reza Pahlavi wants the people to change the regime whenever they want. Like during the war, many people said, "Why don't people come out? Why don't people do the regime change now?" Because Reza Pahlavi wants to wait for the people to come to streets whenever they want, because he wants the least casualties for the Iranian people to fight against the regime. Also, the Israel strikes on Iran were good. Before I go to the genocide point of Gaza, but I just want to say Israel strikes were good because they actually killed the military, like the IRGC commanders, that Iranian people by protest they couldn't do, even kill one, but they killed 30 of their biggest. And also the civilian casualties, like the death of that, like was 200. Some sources say 500 to 1060. Some sources, like the most accurate source, of 280 civilian casualties out of 1060. So it was the lowest civilian casualties in a war in modern era by a country. The last record was, I think it was like Lebanon, but now it broke with Iran. So it's the lowest civilian casualties in a modern war. But yes, the other point that I want to make is that the U.S. like shouldn't also involve in this change. So Israel should just eliminate the suppression forces, because the only thing that the Iranian regime is good at is to suppress their people. So the U.S. should do nothing and let Israel to destroy the suppression forces and to make the regime weak, so the people can do and change the regime. Like before, like 6 years before Reza Pahlavi has a travel to Israel, Israel supported the separatist forces, which wanted to separate Iran, and it was like very anti-Iran. But when Reza Pahlavi proved Israel that he is the person the Iranian people trust, and after Iranian people trust him after the 2022 protests, so Israel said, okay, so because Israel cares about itself first, any nation cares about itself first, and they said, okay, a strong Iran, a strong allyship with Iran, because the people of Iran are supporting us, so we have to actually, you know, have a strong allyship with the Iranian people and also with the popular opposition, which is Reza Pahlavi. And even Reza Pahlavi's team traveled to Israel a month ago to give their policies after, to show the policies after like the regime change to them, and demanding Israel to help them, to help the opposition after the regime change on water shortage, because Israel has has the best water system in the world. So they just demanded that. So I have one more minute. I give you 7 minutes because I talk for 6 minutes now. I talk for 7 minutes. So in Gaza, when you say genocide, so it's not like genocide because Israel enters close to 3,000 calories per person per day to Hamas, but the problem is starvation exists because Hamas steals the trucks like 85%. It was 93%. Now it's down to the 85% because this Gaza Aid Foundation that America and Israel just created that, and they are feeding the people of Gaza, so it decreased. But also the UN is like so lazy to feed the people. Also the genocide, I have to say, like is the one of the best, like it's better than America's ratio in the Iraq war and also Afghanistan war. Like the ratio is like you said 60,000. Yeah, it's like not 60, it's like 60, I think 64.5, and the total Hamas are like 26,000. So like it's less than one combatants to two civilians. So that's a great number. Like the best number for like a modern war before Israel broke it with Hezbollah and then with the Iranian regime. But if you want to compare that to the U.S. invasion of Iraq, so it's a better number, or to U.S. bombing Japan or some other flights like this. So I think there's not a genocide because the Hamas hides behind the Gaza civilians, and they are like putting the people in human shields. They don't help children to go under tunnels or women to go under tunnels, and they fight. And they also don't wear the army army clothes that is like or military clothes. Sorry, I talked for 9 minutes. I'm sorry, 8 minutes. It's too long. I know. I apologize. But yeah, those were my points. I just got the stress at the final minute.
Okay. First off, I want to say, like, when I was talking about like invading Mexico, basically, I think we should provide support to eliminate the cartels, and so that we can make Mexico like El Salvador, round them all up and make it absolutely beautiful, safe place where we can all go, and like maybe it becomes a part of America. Like, I think it's probably better at some point. We'll probably have one continent. It'll just be like the biggest country in the world, North America, and you'll have Mexico, maybe parts of Central America, not South America, but Central America, Canada, Greenland, just become one mass and just be like the biggest country in the whole world. But we have to clean it up here first. That's the thing. We have a lot of problems in our own country. So, like, I feel for the people in Iran that are, rebelling against their oppressive government. But like, we really can't. That's on them. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna come and save us. Nobody's gonna come and save me. If we have a rebellion, like, there's not anybody that's gonna be like, funding stuff. It's like, no, we have to figure it out on our own. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what the founding fathers did here in America, where George Washington, he was on the ropes, man, and then they crossed that river, and that like saved him. So it was pretty crazy. So, like, yeah, revolutions are ugly. There's a lot of death, and it's not fun at all. It's not cool. That's why we have to try to make things as peaceful as possible. That's why I'm about peace first. So the Iran stuff, I really can't comment on too much. I don't know, like, the inner workings of Iran. When it comes to the genocide that's happening in Gaza right now. Yeah, and your points were like, America has had way more civilian casualties, so, like, I'm a hypocrite for saying that, basically. But I didn't support that stuff. I don't even know if I was alive for some. Well, I was alive for Iraq. That definitely. There was like 1 million Iraqis died because of that war. Absolutely insane. We should never been there. We should never went in. We need to let people in the Middle East figure out their own battles. We have to figure out our battles here in America. We don't have the money. Like, our healthcare's, like, people's premiums, I guess, are about to double next year, and that's crazy. It's already outrageous as it is. Like, people, like, literally can't get healthcare, and the government has to cut back. Like, they have to cut back welfare. They've been giving out welfare. We've taken in so many millions of illegal aliens and funded these people's lives, spending like billions. I think like hundreds of billions. I don't know. Like, we spend a lot of money, and then, like, shipping them, getting them out of here. Like, we just added a bunch to the national debt on the big beautiful bill to fund ICE and clean up, like, the Democrats' mess. So it's just like, man, we have our own stuff to worry about here, and, like, we don't need to be. It almost feels like we've been dragged into all these wars in the Middle East because of Israel. Like, if it's about the oil, there's other places we can get oil. Venezuela, that's one. Canada, we can drill off our coast. You know what I mean? If we wanted to, we should actually be allies with Russia. We should be allies with everybody at this point. You know what I mean? It's just it's so stupid that we have to fight kinetic wars at this point. We should all be, like, way more mature and way more on a different level than we are. Spiritually, and the world is, like, so chaotic. There's just so much going on everywhere. Everybody's feeling it. It's not just here financially with America suffering. Everywhere is suffering. Like, you were talking, I don't know, like, those numbers, like, you were talking about, basically that dollars of that, I think, Ukraine or whatever, like, whatever you're talking about, like that is basically hyperinflated or something like that. Like, yeah, you see that. You see like hyperinflation, and America at one point will hyperinflate the currency. We can't keep doing what we're doing. Like we already owe 37 trillion on the national debt, and then we owe 100 trillion on future liabilities. That is like, you know, Social Security and Medicare and stuff like that. That stuff's owed to people. So like the national debt isn't really 37 trillion. It's like 137 trillion. So it's just, but this is over like years, So yeah, and everyone has a bunch of debt. So I think we shouldn't be giving Israel any more money. They don't need to be getting, for what? Like, I don't know what are we paying for? And the whole war thing, like we need to like get past that. We need to go to the next level without having to go to war. We need to have more diplomacy and like we're having this civil discussion right now. And then that's good, so I think that we align with probably a lot of things politically. So like we can have a civil discussion. The people on the other side, they really can't have the civil discussions because they're children. They're perpetual children that are in a cult, and they perpetuate on everybody else. So yeah, I don't know what you want from me, from like a rebuttal or something. So
Yeah, no. So I just want to say the Persian the Persian account wants to come up. Also, is it okay after I speak? And she has some questions for you, and you answer to her, if it's okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
cool.
that I waste a lot of time. Okay.
It's all good.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So I would just want to point something out. So first of all, I just want to say about the Israel thing that according to data, it was like the annual funding for Israel, like the annual aid for Israel in 2024 was 17.9 billion. Which is between 15.2 and 16.1 billion of that, which means 85 to 90% of that spent on U.S.-made weapons and services. So it means that created jobs in the United States. And actually, the U.S. exports to Israel was 14.8 billion. U.S. imports from Israel was 22.2 billion. And the U.S. trade deficit with Israel, so it's 7.4 billion in 2024. So if we reduce the trade deficit from the remaining money, which is we can say like 2.7 billion, is still more than like $4.5 billion minus like from Israel, which means Israel should like get like 4.5 billion more, but they they imported more into the U.S. to pay back. Also, they spend 90%, 85 to 90% of that money into the U.S. Weaponry industry, like the military industrial complex, and to actually buy the U.S. made weapons. That's why actually I support Israel, because they pay back. For example, for Ukraine, if they had the mineral trade, if they said, okay, we trade like the minerals, we give up some of our minerals to get military package from the United States. So that would be a good support, because they paid something back. And the free market capitalist system always works. So this is about the free market, the free trade, which I showed you the data, because some people don't show you the data and they actually don't care about. So some pro-Israeli people, they say, oh, we don't care about Israel's ally, they should get supported. And the other side says we pay too much money for Israel, but not that much money. Show the actual data that how the fundings goes, how it got spent, and all of these things. So the defense budget of the United States was $820 billion last year, which means it's like 13.6% of the annual budget. So out of 820 billion, 17.9 billion it's like even less than actually 10%. It's actually close to 2% of the military budget. So 2% out of 13%. Like sorry, we say also 5% out of 13% is a very lower number than like the budget. So we say 5% out of the 13% of the budget, which is like less than a percent of the U.S. budget goes to Israel, like less than even like 0.5%, which is a very, very low number. So most of the numbers that get spent that make American people suffer is because of the Bidenomics, which was actually the forced like housing, like the spending on the big pharma and all of these scams that they made, and they like that was a way huger part of the budget. So like the aid to Israel is a very, very little tiny part of the budget that goes, and also it got paid back. Like I showed you the data. I asked like all AI, like I asked Grok, so which is like the most unbiased that you guys say, because some guys say ChatGPT is not like reliable, so I ask Grok. By the way, another thing. So the last point that I want to make. So I think you're right about like the bombings are wrong, but when the Hamas they don't wear uniforms, so it's like Israel did like also like spread leaflets, also sending text messages for people to evacuate, so that like that caused less civilian casualties. So I appreciate them for doing that. But I think they cannot do more in this current situation. And also, I just want to say about the strike in Qatar. So I think Israel striking Qatar was somewhat right or somewhat wrong. Like it's right because it was like America attacked Pakistan. Actually, not attacked Pakistan. They attacked Bin Laden in Pakistan before even telling Pakistan. But Israel like told America when they want to strike Qatar, and like if America, I think America told Qatar because when they strike those Hamas leaders, they were outside, so they actually didn't get killed. So when for Osama bin Laden actually got killed in Pakistan, no one condemned America. Even Pakistan got supplied even more. You know, but Pakistan condemned them, said, "Oh, that was a wrong mistake, and why did you do that?" And America just funded Pakistan even more. So they got into deals, and now even America is saying that to Qatar because like Qatar like let Hamas leaders to come, and they just attacked that area without any like civilian casualties in Qatar because they attacked a very specific place that are for Hamas billionaires, which are having like billions of dollars in their pocket. So my last point is about the funding. So you are right about like that American system is like somewhat corrupted in many ways, but I think housing also like some like tariff deals are good, but I think it should be like 0 to 0 tariff from both sides. It should be fixed as soon as possible to make the economy better. Also, the big pharma thing is good, like with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Also, many other things that is going on, and it's going to be better. Like some social security that, for example, for people who were like dead, or like some people that named like as 140 years old, like some scams just came out and they were like wasted a lot of budget. So you've seen during the like democratic leadership, they didn't say anything about it and they wasted a lot of money. So I think the U.S. didn't go to Israel's war. The U.S. did some mistakes in the Middle East, but I think strong allyship with allies is good. The problem with NATO and with those people is the European Union, because they got into this Islamic ideology. They are just so woke and they don't listen to US. They are not having a good chemistry. I blame US only 10% of that and blame those European Union like 90 to 95% of that. So yeah, they are the people, they are the problem, and they are going to fix themselves by having fair elections, and they are like actually electing better people. So yes, I think the allyship, the future is bright. It shouldn't like cost allyships because of some vogue areas, just some areas that it would be like some dark days, but it would be like light days after the dark days passed. But I think I think like having a good relationship with Russia is needed if they don't attack, for example, Ukraine or some other countries like that. But I think with Russia, like when Trump's talked to Putin, that's good for peace deals, but like not an allyship with Russia because they are actually with China and they're actually having like the bad agenda that is going on. But also about the last point, yeah, you know that you don't know a lot about Iran, but I think America and Europe should recognize Reza Pahlavi as the Iranian leader without doing other things. So Israel will like take out all of the suppression forces, and they help the Iranian people to come out. They like Israel doesn't put boots on the ground because the Iranian people are the boots on the ground to overthrow. So Israel actually bombs the areas that are actually like there are suppression forces and IRGC bases and all of those things. So just to finish my point, the United States and Europe should recognize Reza Pahlavi as the Iranian leader. Do nothing else. Just recognize him and his plan and his team. That's all. So Persian, I also apologize for you, Mr. Enslave 1S, for wasting your time. You said 30 to 40 minutes. I wasted more. But yeah, Persian, go ahead if you want to say something.
Hi, thank you. And sorry if actually the friend needs to go, but he's not a Democrat. He's a Republican, am I right? America first. So do you think that with all these illegals that they're pouring into your country now without the support of other countries, you can solve it single-handedly, United States? No, you cannot. And it is China, it is Russia, and Iran is important for all of them, and Middle East and the oil and gas is important for all of them. So that is why United States cannot actually isolate themselves. And maybe you can and you want to in the future. Good luck with that. But the point is that you cannot mess up the countries, create the wars, change the regimes, bring up the bad guys, and then leave us alone, high and dry, with Islamists, like the thing that you did with Iran in 1979 that Carter did. And CIA, all the complaints that you have, I understand. I listen to all the spaces that I can, and I understand everybody's point of view in the US and also the other countries, but US more because you are the boss. What do you mean that you don't want United States interfere in other countries? You are the only superpower. Before it was Russia, USSR, and you, but now it is just US. And you are nice people, you are good people, because we as Iranian, we have been actually under a lot of pressure, trouble by Russia. They wanted to annex more parts of Iran. And also from England, they caused 2 famines. That was genocide. Nobody talks about it. Did you know that? At the end of First World War and also at the end of Second World War, they created, the British created famine in Iran, especially after the World War I. Over 1 million people at that time. I think the population of Iran must have been something about 17, 18 million, but 1 million people died because they didn't have bread or food. They sometimes they had to eat each other. This is something that Britain did to us, and nobody talks about it. That is genocide. And also Armenian genocide that nobody talks about it. This Greta Thunberg and nobody else. The United Nations doesn't talk about it. And Armenia, when they got independent, even as the nation states, they tried to actually pass it to UN, that what Ottoman Empire did to Armenians and other Christians, that was genocide and ethnic cleansing. And lots of them ran away to Iran, and they lived in Isfahan, also Azerbaijan, the different parts of Iran actually. They took shelter here, and we know if we don't speak about it, because people don't want to listen to us, and the academia is under the control. Academia is under control of the lefties and Muslims now for about 15 or 20 years. Now you have Muslims teaching things in your universities and schools. So you may not know the reality, or you don't want to. Some people don't want to hear it. But for the United States, as soon as actually you, after the end of Second World War, you intervened, you saved Iran sovereignty. You told Britain to sit in their place, and also Russia to sit in their place, and because you wanted a stable, peaceful country, and you had it. And then for Britain and cheap oil for Europe, the Troika, because United States, as you know and I know, you don't need gas and oil. You have all the resources that you want. It was not necessary. It was a huge mistake. You overthrew, actually 3 years, you worked it, and there are books that your historians have written it. We know because we saw it. I saw it. I witnessed that thing that was not revolution. But you messed it up. Now we want to go back, because ask yourself, why Bibi Netanyahu invites Shah to Israel 3 or 4 years ago? Because it is 10 years everybody shouts in the street. We write, we talk, we take it to the street, and we get arrested, killed, raped. The thing that Hamas did on October 7th to Israelis, this regime has done to us for 46 years. The regime that CIA actually installed for us. General Heisen said, no, it was not our fault. When we talked with Americans, that we gave our tax dollar. Obama gave our taxpayer dollars to the regime in Iran. No, none of them did that. We have frozen assets in your country and lots of other countries that you spend without our permission, because it is the people money. But you don't care. Your government actually doesn't care. CIA and Carter gave Khomeini in France 180 million. BBC worked hard to spread disinformation about the Shah, undermine the Shah, because he was very popular, and we have the 5th strongest army in the world without attacking anybody. And we had the 2nd Air Force in the world after the United States, and we had very good relationship with US, with Israel, and with all other Arab countries around us. There was no animosity. So you changed it because Europe wanted cheap oil. They didn't like that they increased the price of everything to Middle Easterns, and they disobey and say that, okay, if you increase this much, we are going to increase the price of oil a little bit more. So he stood up to Europe, and then United States supported Britain, because you are cousins, sisters or brothers, whatever you call. And if you listen to Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson, I know that you don't like any of them, but one thing that Putin says about that Nord Stream thing, that US actually blew it up, blah, blah, blah. They ask each other why, and Putin says, you know why? Because you have a common business with each other, you Westerners. And he's right. Maybe you don't like him, but he's a very wise man. He's a very wise politician, a KGB guy, and he knows history and politics, unfortunately, very well. So, and he's right. United States didn't need to destroy our country and cause lots of pains to Iranians just over oil and maybe, I don't know, some other things that we don't know, and do the thing to us. So now about genocide, what do you mean by genocide?
Okay, I want to jump in real quick. Can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
So that was absolutely beautiful, all that said, because I think that a lot of people in America don't know what's happening. There's a lot of propaganda. I have a trouble deciphering the propaganda. There's so much propaganda. It's unbelievable. It's like, what is really real? I don't support us just pulling out of our allies' position and helping them. Like, that's what happened with Afghanistan. And look what happened. That was absolutely ridiculous what Joe Biden did. It should be like, okay, you're strong. Like, eventually, it's just like you have to be like independent and do being able to take care of yourself instead of us having to take, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't just pull the plug and like you guys are off on your own, or whoever we have obligations to, South Korea, whoever, we just pull the plug and that's it. And then just like, no, it's just, we need to make sure that the regions are fine, they're peaceful, and then we can pull out. But my thing is like, it's kind of funny when people bring up the point of economics. It's like a good thing to create bombs that kill people, that kill children in Gaza. Like, it's because it boosts the economy. Like, of all the things that we can be building, that's absolutely beautiful, and that's like not destruction for society, but like to build and grow and to better people and just us in general as like a species, so we don't have so much racial tension everywhere. Just keep developing technology to make us all better people, a better species and everything like that. But like, it's absolutely ridiculous how America has handled foreign affairs. Like, it's just, we've had regime changes, we've had bad leadership for a long time, and I know that a lot of people have a big problem with Trump, and I've recently, since he said he doesn't want to release the Epstein files, basically he told people like me that have supported him for like 10 straight years of people calling me fascist and racist nonstop to fuck off. But I like some of the things he's doing. I think that he's makes America strong, makes us people, and makes the countries respect us. And we should be helping. We shouldn't be world policing. We shouldn't have to be getting into everybody's affairs. I think that's why we have like the United Nations. Isn't that what they're there for? I just see like Israel being reckless. That's all. They're bombing everybody. It's like they won't stop bombing people.
We thank them, honey. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. We thank Israel for bombing Iran, And my son didn't, he's not political. He didn't read history that much. He's not interested in reading, anything or news as much as it is related to the country and his, education at university, stuff like that. And also football. If he has time, a little bit football. That's it. So, kind of stupid in politics. But when I called him, then Bibi Netanyahu said that empty Tehran, I called him and the internet was completely off. Telephone and cell phones were kind of off, and even text messages didn't go easily. So I was worried, and I live in another city. I asked him to just pack up and come. It is serious. And then he told me, no, Mom, don't worry. It is Israel. They know where to hit, and they're going to hit us. I said, oh my God, it is serious. Come. And then it is very interesting that when President Trump on Truth Social actually wrote, leave Tehran now, then people panicked and 6 million ran out of Tehran to other cities because, God, you are the boss, we know that. And then the two things happened. We didn't feel anything, we didn't hear anything, we are fine with it. And the thing is that those who use this propaganda against Israel and Bibi Netanyahu and, President Trump and stuff like that, it is years that in Clubhouse and also whenever I can, I write and I say, why nobody talks about Iranian children? The United Nations doesn't care about Iranian people, how many people have died in the hands of this regime with different causes. But just last year, it is official statistics by the regime itself, 50,000 Iranian kids all around Iran died just only because of the air pollution. 50,000. How many children actually have been killed in Gaza? We don't know exactly
Around
because
10.
they create numbers. UN covers up for Muslims. They are corrupted. Do you watch football? I mean, football, soccer. You call soccer, but it is football. So Qatar, corrupted, bought FIFA, everything, and then that shit show in Qatar that you are not allowed to drink and you cannot have a room with your girlfriend. You should be married and stuff like that. They're forcing you with Muslim Sharia. And they have bought most of England. That is why England cannot do anything. And also, they are doing it to the United States. And if Trump, because unfortunately, I lost hope in President Trump when he had this $1 trillion deals with Qatar, because Qatar is stealing our gas and oil from Persian Gulf. So it is up to President Trump, and he's our last chance to defend us, stand with us, because he knows very well. He knows what we want. He knows what was going on for 47 years. But this term, he is supporting Arabs, and that is so dangerous to you, because they are going to force Sharia on you when they outnumber you, And it is something that Russia and China talked about it. You cannot actually defeat the United States. You should implode it from inside. That is what they are doing with this wokeism,
Correct.
extreme Marxism, and also Islamism. So it is up to you to choose actually what is going to happen. But if there is no genocide in Gaza, please do not repeat the thing that United Nations says. And according to United Nations, the regime in Iran has killed lots of Iranians, more than even number that were killed in Iran-Iraq war. But they decrease the number. They make it out of, 50,000, they make it 300 people died, were killed. And then they give a special seat to them in the United Nations. So we don't trust UN. UN is a lost cause, and they lie for Muslims with Qatari money, with Saudi money. This is the point. And that is why lots of people, even the right wingers, they are actually, refusing to support Bibi Netanyahu. Israel is fighting a war that is existential for them. If Bibi loses, we are gone. Actually, we are for a long time. We are gone. They have burnt our country. And China, you say why? For example, we have this and that and that. But China or Russia, they are stealing our resources for nothing. Everybody talks about gas and oil, but what about the lithium? What about the gold mines? $150 billion from the gold mines. People resist, people in the cities. And they get killed, arrested, threatened to shut up. And China is becoming richer and stronger. And we don't have a strong military. It's a joke. But China has, with our money. And also Russia. That's it.
So, this is why I'm not one of these people that are they're completely anti-immigration, because I think that people should be able to come here legally, people that want to assimilate, and there's places from where you guys are at, and maybe even you guys, where you guys should be if you guys want to come to America, immigrants, there's a system, but what we have to do here in America, number one, is we have to fix ourselves. We are so divided. We have to fix ourselves and get our own culture together, and stop bringing in so many people that aren't assimilating, aren't coming here for the right reasons, that are coming here and flying their flag. It's if you love your country so much, that's cool, but why don't you live there? So it's just America has to focus on itself. And I'm not saying we can't abandon, but our government is literally shut down right now because we have incompetent leadership that can't balance a budget. They can't negotiate because they're a bunch of children, especially on the left, but the right are a problem too. Republicans and Democrats, the right and left, they are responsible for all the problems. They haven't really solved a lot of problems. They're supposed to be solving it, but they don't do nothing. All the politicians do is probably create problems. That's what it seems like. But it's just like, where are we gonna get the money from? Like we can keep printing it, but like it's just hurting. We're just like, is when our currency hyperinflates, everyone is going to be screwed. Like literally, you guys, everybody depends on our currency being the world reserve currency. So unless we have something else that comes, maybe like BRICS or Bitcoin, hopefully people are paying attention to blockchain technology. So yeah, it's just like it sucks, man. It sucks in different places, but like it's just we have to like fix our own neighborhood first, like, you know what I mean, and fix ourselves, and then we can help other people. It's too hard for us to try to fix ourselves, which we're completely screwed. Our government is literally shut down right now. And hey, Republican.
Sorry, but you know that about Venezuela, Mexico, because you were talking about Mexico and Venezuela, stuff like that, and they are closer maybe to you. But did you know that these cartels get their stuff from Iran and the regime, of course, the regime and Hezbollah and that Syrian guy that ran away. So it is all Middle East that actually helps them. South America actually brings the things like Captagon and the peel. I don't know you know about it or not. They actually produce it in Lebanon, Hezbollah actually, and then Syria started producing them. And it is very dangerous, and they take it when they want to send these riot police, or I don't know, for October 7th, they took those pills, and nobody in the world knew the pill Captagon, the name. Nobody heard about it. We told them it is Captagon. Then IDF found out it is Captagon in their pockets when they found the terrorists who committed October 7th, and said, we knew it. We Iranians knew it. That is why we support them, because Bibi is right. He doesn't lie, actually. Everything is fact-based about the uranium enrichment. Why nobody thinks that, okay, what about these many, I don't know, enriched uranium that President Trump didn't hit and the regime hid? Bibi says that Israel knows where it is. Do you want another Chernobyl in Iran? You don't care about Iranian. Nobody cares about Iranian people. These people are idiots. They are illiterate idiots. They are illiterate. They don't care about Iranians, let alone other nationalities. They hate everything and everybody, and they just want money. All of their children live in Canada and United States and England, but most of them are in Canada and United States with you. And lots of them don't have hijab, and you don't recognize that they are Muslim. They are half naked most of the times with our money, drinking, partying, stuff like that. So why nobody talks about Iranian people, that they are in danger? There are lots of, actually, this kind of radioactivity pollution already. Russia buried their radioactive shit actually in Iran, and then when the environmentalists found out, they got killed, jailed and killed, and some of them had dual citizenship, but they were stupid to come to Iran to help, and then they found out, they spoke, and they got killed. So what about this amount of uranium? There is going to be a Chernobyl. When Israel wanted to hit the first time Iran, and it was talking about it after the first rocket barrage, these Qataris, Kuwaitis, these people who live towards the south of Persian Gulf, and they insist it is not your Gulf, it is our Gulf, and use the fake name for it. So, oh no, please do not hit Bushehr. Please, they were begging Israelis, don't hit Bushehr, because then the radioactivity and stuff like that goes to the Persian Gulf, and then we won't have water, blah, 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 blah. They were crying for it. But for us, we didn't care, because we already have polluted air, polluted water, and we don't have electricity, everybody knows. But as Warren knows, actually, this year it was, and President Trump talks about it. But still, from last week, they started to export electricity to Afghanistan and Pakistan. We don't have electricity, but they export it for whenever they want to. They have it. They export it to Taliban brothers for other favors, to support them, keep them in power. We don't know. So it's a kind of.
What do you mean you don't have electricity? Like, are you in Iran right now? Hello?
Yes.
You're in Iran?
And during summer it was 4 hours, 2 hours to 4 hours every day.
That-
There was.
Oh, your blackouts. Yeah, blackouts, right? Is that what you're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have electricity, but it turns off like California. Gotcha.
Yeah, but in California it happens because of the forest fires, or I don't know, something happens. But here we don't have enough electricity because it's a dry country, and the whole water behind the dams actually were used because of the Bitcoin that is extracted by the regime, not poor people. We don't have those kind of Bitcoin farms, and lots of other things for enriching uranium. They need a lot of water, I think, and they use it in a wrong way, and then we don't have water and electricity. But now they are exporting it to Taliban and Pakistan, enjoying, the electricity. And also about water, we always have problems with water, but whenever they want to, they export water to, or for free, they give it to Iraq and Qatar, because they spend the money. We are under sanction, but they are not. So they spend and buy influence and keep the regime. So this is why we are a milking cow to everybody. Putin, I don't know, China, India, everyone. So it should come to an end. And it is, for me, as an Iranian, it is very interesting. Everybody talks about the children in Gaza. What about children in Israel? Did you see the video, the footage that they themselves, these Hamas guys themselves, put it actually online? Did you watch? Did you have the heart to watch it? For
Wait.
us, it is PTSD.
What was it?
October 7th.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say that I think it's absolutely ridiculous that there's hostages still from October 7th, and I don't understand why the Palestinians haven't dealt with Hamas or got rid of these people. If they why would they still have hostages? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Release the damn hostages, and there won't be tensions between Israel. So it's but it's they're hiding behind it because they're cowards or whatever. And it's sad. It's a sad thing, and it sucks. It sucks for you guys too. But we are suffering over here too. So it's
I know.
It's okay. Wait, hold on 1 second. If we had to overthrow our regime, how would you guys help us do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you couldn't. So you know what I mean?
We people, no. It is very important. We people cannot do anything. We are nice, goody people. We don't have that kind of genocidal, psychopathic gene in ourselves. Most of us. Those who have that, they are very small numbers, and they already work for the regime. This is one point. But we spent billions, and President Trump doesn't get elected in 2020. You don't want to tell me that it was not rigged, and that Biden that has problems, health issue, cannot speak or whatever. And President Trump was very popular at that time. Suddenly, that Chinese virus, everything that happened. Those who know. The other ones, they think because the lefties are a little bit more educated and they claim that they are very knowledgeable, other people, like a sheep, they should follow what they actually say, like a parrot, and it shows that they are educated, normal people, but they are not. They are stupid people. Facts are facts. Now you found out about you are finding actually on the paper the side effects of those vaccines. So anyways, the regime spend a lot, and Arabs spend lots of money. Russia, China, they don't want a strong America. Don't you get it? And they are using our resources.
Yes.
And our influence in your country, imploded from inside. They want to kill you from inside.
Correct.
That is the relationship,
100%. What you just said.
And just to defend Israel in one more thing, if you remember, United States and Iraq war. I watched it live on CNN and BBC World. When I came back from work every day, there was this video cams on the tanks when they entered Iraq. So we watched it live. And or you can ask veterans. We saw it here, and it is a routine. They deliberately hid behind the holy shrines, mosques, places like that, to force United States and other forces who were there, the soldiers, the Western soldiers, to hit those places, and then they start playing the victim cards and crying. But it is a very old technique and tactic, and that they used it. And we Iranians know, because we have lived with these SOBs for a long time. And for Gaza, it is the same story. If Israel wanted to commit a genocide, they could actually bomb the shit out of that small piece of land and kill everyone. I think there would be no difference between now and that time. But they put their lives of their soldiers, like American soldiers, that they put their lives in danger in Afghanistan, in Iraq, especially in Iraq, not to kill citizens, but it happens. It is war. What do you expect? It happens. Shit happens. So Israel did their best, and we follow, for years we follow Israel things, and we believe this part. Yeah, children, women, of course they get killed, but genocide or famine, they don't have eat food. All of them are fat. How come that they are all fat? If there is a famine.
I haven't seen recently. I've seen, like I said, there's a lot of propaganda, and I'm just trying to decipher it, but I connect the dots, and I try to be and I just want to get to the point where, when I was talking about, you guys helping, how would you guys help us overthrow the regime that we have? I'm not advocating for any type of regime overthrow in America at all, but I just wanted to make a point where it's just if you rebel against your own country, you can't expect people to help you. You know what I mean? It sucks, but it sucks for people to have to go through tyranny. But I wish that we could help other people. Our leaders have been completely incompetent, and I think they've been purposely incompetent. I think this is orchestrated. I think that the world is going to some sort of some kind, I know it sounds weird, but a genocide, overall, we've been depopulating. Every single country has been depopulating, and it's going to be, unless the robots save us, it's going to be pretty bad. So that's something to look out for. But it's there's so many issues we have here in America. You know what I mean? That's why I'm America first. We have to fix our own self first. It's kind of like if you have your house on fire, and you look down the block, and one of the houses over there is on fire. Are you gonna put your fire out in your house first, or are you gonna go and put the one out a block away? That house on fire.
Sweetheart, you have let the arsonists in already. The arsonists
Correct.
are there.
What do you think that's what I'm talking about. We have to fix our own problems. We have a lot of corrupt leaders.
Just think about this one too. I'm sorry, I talked a lot. I know that I'm an old woman. What can I say? Just ask yourself.
You're good.
I'm middle class Iranian. I'm married. I have my children here. University teacher, but I cannot travel to United States at all. That green card thing during, different periods was going on. I never wanted to actually travel. My cousins all live in California and also New York. So we have family there, but I never wanted to immigrate. But even if I want to visit, I cannot visit. You won't give visa to me. But also for Europe, for 46 years, if we wanted to get a visa, I had to have millions of our currency in my bank account, a house or office or something, a piece of land into my name, and also a job to show that I have a job and I have to come back to Iran. It is just a touristic visit. For any country in Europe that you wanted to travel to, for middle class, it is still the same. And then they may or may not give us visa for 1 week or 2 weeks summer holiday. But how come these people from Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, every other places that you think they don't have any education, they don't have any job, any money, they don't have even clothes on, and now they have been pouring into your country since Hussein Obama?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it is not our fault. It is your politicians'
Correct.
fault. You are the bosses. You are the brains of the war.
That's what I'm saying. This is why we have to worry about ourselves first. We are just changing regimes back and forth, and nothing's getting done. Our government is literally shut down right now. I think it's still shut down. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to the news yesterday, but yeah, it's like our government is shut down. Like our soldiers are not getting paid right now, and our politicians are, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. So like, yeah, we are being invaded from the interior, and I think that we're being invaded from multiple factions of different entities and money and wealth. And I think, I wish that like everywhere was like Iran, and like I see pictures in the 1960s and 70s before Muslims took over. I wish everywhere was like Christian type of place, and I think that people need to, in America, listening to what you're saying about like traveling and stuff, and have to have all those resources to be able to even go anywhere. It makes it shows like how good America has it, and I think that gives perspective for people who don't appreciate the country that we live in, to have freedom of speech, and not have to worry about unless you're getting attacked by somebody on the left. But like, we're not having our government get rid of us like other countries. So it's really unfortunate what's happening in Iran, and hopefully like maybe one day we can help liberate you guys. But it's like you said,
our Shah flag. He's our Shah. Our late Shah didn't abdicate, despite the pressure of CIA in Egypt. They didn't give in, actually, and our Constitution 1906 still stands. This is something that CIA knows, President Trump knows, and lots of others. All the politicians, your politicians know. Maybe ordinary people, yeah, you don't know. But that Reza Pahlavi that you talk about, actually, he is my legitimate job. Me and my family never voted for this regime. We didn't want this regime. We were scared the hell from this regime. They massacred us for 46 years. And this is Islamic, actually, invasion. And they killed all the lefties after they won. And of course, leftism and communism doesn't have a place in Iran usually, never had. So people, actually, the religious part won, and this was CIA who funded it and helped it. If it wasn't because of America, it couldn't happen. Europe couldn't do it. But okay, you actually Carter did, and nobody, none of your presidents, and even President Reagan, didn't undo the wrong that they did. So the stab is still in our back. People can blame us, from all around the world. No, it is your fault. You didn't do. Whenever we take it to the street, in large numbers or small numbers, you say something against the regime, you get killed. But you don't say anything against the regime. You are gay, you can live with your partner at home. They know you are a celebrity. They don't care. You have this immunity because you don't harm the regime. They can use you actually to propaganda, stuff like that. So this is the shit that happened to us. We have fought tooth and nail. Now people are out of breath. Lots of families have exploded, and too much pain, too much suffrage, and they are armed, and then they kill us with tanks, Dushka, Katyusha, and also helicopter thing. They shoot to the head. It is not like Egypt, Tunisia, and other countries that the army doesn't kill people, like that. So they kill us, but if it is necessary, if the number is large, Shiraz, they have done it in Kurdistan, they have done it